Hello and welcome back to the Puddin's Fab Shop number 2. Today we're going to assemble this, which is a Master Welder Series Vulcan 350 pounder welding cart. If I'm out of breath, it's because of him. Whew. Me and Theodore, we were just playing bone chase, okay? We got to throw the bone and see who can get it first. He wins a lot. Now, towards the end of last year, as we were doing our builds and everything, y'all probably noticed I was trying to hold myself accountable to use our TIG welding machine more. The main problem I have with my TIG welding machine now, besides my inexperience, is the fact that it just kind of sits here. And if we want to use it over there, then moving this setup is just a pain in the butt. Almost as much as a pain as them pellets I just got installed. Oh, that's right. I'm actually not supposed to be working today as far as like doing heavy lifting and all that. I'm supposed to be out today into tomorrow, actually through tomorrow, but that's okay. I still want to try to get a little bit done. This we should be able to take care of pretty easy here. I think we'll probably maybe try to figure out a couple upgrades. One thing I noticed, I think when I bought this, they had one displayed like out on a shelf where you could see it assembled. And the one thing I didn't like was the tiny casters for the front. So I bought a couple bigger casters already. I did not buy hardware, so that was pretty smart. Hey Ma, Puddin got bigger wheels, but he didn't get no damn way to put them on. And for some reason in my head, I thought this thing had more of a lip on the side. I thought we were gonna be able to throw some Puddin's Fab Shop dimple dies. I was thinking we would hole it up and dimple die it up, but I guess we're gonna have to kind of get her together here and see how we can spruce her up, or maybe how we can't. Our back wheels, there's some 8-inchers, black steelies. Y'all know I'm in. You won me at Steely. Now for welding carts, guys, luckily, thanks to Harbor Freight, I think there's a couple of fair options now as far as affordability. How much time do you have to just build a welding cart? And you know, how much money you want to spend on a welding cart? I think Harbor Freight has a couple good options for us now, where I don't think, especially for like this, if I was a super duper TIG welder where I use mine non-stop, I may know exactly how I'd want to lay out a cart. Like you start figuring out, you use X, Y, and Z so much that you need quick, easy access right there. But like I said, we're more or less just trying to get mine mobile. Look at those. Look at those tiny little suckers. Those are the ones we're replacing. Those can't even run over the extension cord right there that we use to power our welder. But a good option for some people may be to just build your own welding cart. Or if you don't want to spend, I mean, you could spend a good couple days working on one. Y'all seen my mid cart that I keep the old Miller on. And I'd recently talked about buying this or getting one for it, and someone left me a big old comment that they were explaining how you could build one out of a file cabinet. And I guess they just hadn't seen my Miller one, because that's actually exactly what I did here. Office. One of the offices when I was in the Air Force was doing a little revamp, and this thing was getting sent to scrap. They said I could have it, so I got a cabinet out of the deal. The rest is 1x1. And at the time, like this shelf, it flips up and down, you know. And I just made it to specifically fit or spit this Miller welder. Like there's literally little pieces of angle iron I welded on where that just holds that sucker just there. And don't be fooled, she don't look like much, but when you start building stuff with little flip up this and that, all the crap I did, you'll have some time wrapped up in that. And actually, I think I'm wearing his hoodie right now. I used to work at a hot rod shop part-time when I was in the Air Force. I'd get off my job from the Air Force, and in the evenings I'd go work at this hot rod shop, hammer down hot rods. And yeah, when I was there, I had a little more time to, you know, work on stuff like that, I guess, so to speak. Woo! Now, You know, I'll be honest, I don't want to spend a couple days building a welding cart for a welder that I barely make myself use, but whew, might have to go skiing once this booty heals up. Oh, that's them old rods where you walk and find the water underground when they cross. Y'all know what I'm talking about? Walk through there. Boat right there, that's where the old shitter's clogged, Dad. I don't know what they call those rods. If you know what that's called, comment down below. That thing, I don't know if that's supposed to be overbent or they just got plumb buck nasty on it. So that dang sure ain't square, kind of square-ish now. Yeah, let's just leave it alone. Probably not supposed to be. I don't know why I bent that. Don't try putting it together and see if it's a problem. You know, just start bending it. Make some assumptions, because that always goes so good for me. All right, that's what we're doing, guys. We're hanging out. We try not to do too much heavy lifting, too much bending up and down. Trying not to pop a pellet. Trying to get us a welding cart together. And maybe trying to give her a little upgrade. Step one's trying to read. Oh yeah, that thing was definitely supposed to be bent. Very first picture shows assembling those and they were both definitely bent. Yo! Guys, I got overconfident is the problem. I thought I was healing up good. The last 3 weeks has been crazy for me. Let's find this bottom piece, lower platform. We had the thrash up to Christmas. Then I told y'all we had went out of town. We went to Colorado or whatever for, oh, that's fun. All right, well, where we need to upgrade our casters, that thing is welded. So we'll probably just need to drill that out, I guess. And quite literally, in one of the very first steps, we need our other hardware. So here's the other casters I picked up, which they both look like 1/2 inch. One is just fine thread and one's not. Just enough to get you. But we had went to Colorado and then came back, and then I got to work for like 2 days, and then I got my pellets and I've been healing up from that. I thought I was pretty good. And we had a birthday party yesterday for a buddy, and there's this place that had a few slides, so I decided I had to hit them. And that was a bad idea. We'll just say that. I was struggling to walk last night. Got them bumpity bumps on your booty will get you, okay? Especially when you've got 10 horse pellets wedged into your meat and you're just banging your meat on them bumps. Well, never mind, that did not sound good. All right, no research being done on this, just kind of picking these up and grabbing this. You can see just how much thread sticks up off that sucker there. Obviously, we don't have that here. If we did have more threads, my thought would be to just drill that out to a 1/2 inch hole where those could pass all the way through. Then we'd simply put a nut on top. However, that ain't gonna work. So for now, what we're gonna do instead is just put a bolt through there. I have a couple, and that'll get us going together. And then we may have to just whip up a little tab to weld off there or something. We're off to a solid start, my friends. And before I do this wrong, I'm gonna look ahead here because I just noticed, see, that's a nut cert. So we don't want those facing the wrong side, or we're gonna have to disassemble this. It looks like nut certs need to be towards the outside. So pay attention to that. Threads seem like they're nice and Harbor Freight quality, if you know what that means. Some of our other hardware is kind of cool. Come in this little consumable kit that comes with this. I guess it slides in here somewhere, but then they also just send your assembly hardware in there. It's a kind of nice little feature. It tells you to use a bolt, use 2 bolts, flat washers, and spring washers. Only thing is, there's 4 different bolts to choose from in there. So I guess we're just supposed to guess which one we're supposed to use. That's good. I quit. Maybe those are not half 13, you know? Or maybe they just need a little more motivation. They were not, but they almost are. We are not doing good, are we? I don't think your bolt's supposed to look like that. Eagle eye's a little off. It's okay. We have solutions. Or do we? Let's get a little lubrication in the situation. That's good. Perfect size where we just want to grab but can't actually drill. Aha! Aha! For how this is going. Good thing is, by the time we get this brand new cart assembled, it's gonna look like we've been using it already for many a year. And then that'll trick people. They will see that and think I'm really good at TIG welding because my cart looks used. But we need a longer bolt than that now, because she's just enough to be flush. We could try to get those two welds off there and then we could take that off. But when you've got broke edges like that has down in the little corners and stuff, grinding off welds ain't the funnest thing. And I had a reason to believe I had longer bolts, but apparently I do not. We're not doing nothing right. Today may be one of them days where the most progress you get done is by just quit touching stuff and go inside. Won't make so much work for yourself. Oh. Try to grind them welds I was just talking about. Little smack attack. Here's one. Generally speaking, one of those is going to be harder to get to. So be sure to grind away the one that's easier to get to. Then you can work your way through the other one. And you be ready to have a beautiful welding cart like mine is clearly shaping up to be. Like, damn, whichever 12-year-old kid was tack welding that day over in China. They got a good one on that one, I'll tell you that much. All right, guys, looking beautiful. Hold on, watch out, watch out. We may actually get one piece of hardware started around here. Sound the alarm, folks, he's on fire. Woo! That's right. Got some hardware in, baby. I'm feeling pretty good. All right, use some nylocks. We don't want no half-butt welding cart that's gonna fall apart or something. You definitely want to jump to conclusions that everything's perfectly fine for you to tighten that up. So then when you go to start these ones at the back, they don't actually line up good. That's what I probably just did. We're gonna give this the squeeze and please. That's where we squeeze and we say please that they're not cross-threaded. Go, baby. Well, that's good though. This thing has enough torque to just turn around and strip that right out. I guess there's a disadvantage to still using the Harbor Freight stuff. It's been a battle just to get here, folks. It's an absolute bloodbath. That was step one, by the way. Now, step two, attach upper platform. Hopefully that goes better than the first platform. Now luckily this don't match at all because someone had to bend it like he knew it was supposed to be bent for some reason. Let's try to get those matching a little better. What in the damn... Hold on. Yeah! Now see, that's sitting perfect. We did it. And maybe we're using the wrong hardware since that won't go through. We'll try a little bit longer one here. There we go. May only take us 10 10 minutes to get through step 2 instead of half an hour. Watch out, we're working fast now. Don't tighten those too much. Up next, we want to mark right here. So you want to have a marker in your pocket, just where you know where to mark it. Give me a second here, I'll find the right one. Oh, that's it. There we go. Just playing. I just remembered I had all these. I'm real bad about carrying my markers in the house, and then they end up on my nightstand, and then I got to bring them back out here. That's 2 days worth right there. All right, obviously, if our casters were on the front, that would have the front picked up. After that, looks like we've got a solid axle here to push through this frame for our rear wheel. Apparently we did okay on our lining up because that did go through there. So we're not too out of square. I wonder, I bet these right here are spacers. Keep those from rubbing. So push your axle through, boom, spacer on. Get that black stilly mounted. Dang right. Dang right, baby. We're about to have to paint these front casters black too. Put a little white wall on it. Don't tempt me. That's how you do not install a clip. And that's how you can install it twice. It didn't work the first time. I don't know why he tried it twice. Damn old lowrider in the front, ain't she? You'll think I'd start reading instructions. And then I would know like that washer was supposed to go in there. Not that it probably matters, but they're here. Let's boop this one. And then we'll unboop this one. For the most part, I just really like doing stuff twice, I think. Maybe 3 times, 4 times, hell. I do like having those washers on there because that makes that actually a pretty tight fit where you don't got a lot of slop. So unboop, reboop. Now because clearly me doing stuff my way and not the way of the instructions works out so well for me, we're gonna skip the next couple steps. One's about putting an adjustable stop on here for the welder. The other one is the little toolbox shelf, which this bolts in, I guess, underneath there somehow. And then this little thing, like I said, it slides up in there. Cool little feature if you need that, guys. I'm not gonna do that because I'm not gonna use it. I already have my TIG stuff kind of set up in this toolbox over here, and I'm perfectly fine with that. For me, it's more about getting her mobile. If I put that on there, I can guarantee you it will never get used. So we got to look at adding this up next, I do believe. Now, I might not be a smarts man's, but I bet this here is where we're supposed to have these extra long bolts. Also, why it was important for your nutserts to face outside. Actually, I'm probably wrong since the nutsert's on the outside. It's not like we're going all the way through. I don't know. I'm trying to look ahead to see if there's anywhere where we need long bolts. It actually looks like we possibly should have done it with the nutserts on the other sides where it had to cross through both, and then it's sandwiching it together. That way you're not just putting all that weight on your nutsert. But we've already come too far. This is a perfect example of what not to do, folks. Or it's a perfect example of how a real review is gonna go when someone starts putting this together and has minimum instructions and you just start guessing. I like to keep it real and honest. And right now, honestly, I think I put it together backwards when I was trying to be proactive and make sure those fit. And I was trying to not put it together backwards, but here we are. We've come too far. Definitely put it together wrong because those nutserts stick out just a hair. Not much, but I can start to like shove that little piece of filler wire in between there, where had we done it the other way, that should go flush, I do believe. It would have sandwiched everything much nicer. The good thing is this is all made out of metal, and that's very close. So if that ever gets rickety, I'll buzz a weld down it, no problem. I'll buzz a weld lickety split. Now, before we build up any more of that, guys, you can just assemble the kit if you want, how they say, and hook whatever. I want to kind of fit it to our welder, so I just want to get that frame rolling, and then we're going to fit our welder to there, and we'll make adjustments as I see fit, because we can definitely trust my eyeball. No, we cannot. No, we cannot. Had to make sure the echo chamber was still there. I'm bringing this because I started to go get hardware, and then I realized I may not actually know the hardware. I mean, we got a little snow here in Oklahoma. Of course, it's been a few days now, but I think we got close to 6 inches. That's pretty good for us. Hell, most folks wouldn't complain about 6 inches, you know. I'm talking about snow. If you're like me and you're not used to seeing snow, 6 ain't bad. Jeez, what are you chomping on? Dude, I just fed you. Why are you eating rocks? That's why I'm concerned about you, dude. What do you want? Some of the nutrients out of that? We get you good quality food. What else could you ask for? Oh yeah, maybe a couple pets on the face. Loves his face rubs. Anyhow, the bad part about snow, and don't mind me putting on my seatbelt, safety first, not having rock in our driveway quite yet. Everything's just a muddy mess. And I want to take the Datsun, but I don't want to have to go scrub the Datsun and get all the mud off of it. Snow's only fun for doing donuts in and stuff, and then it melting off. No thanks. I will say, having 6 inches of snow across that field out there, I wish I would have had the mud Sadies going. I tried to drive the Torola across the creek, but we may have got stuck. Guess we could have trusted the Eagle Eye for that one. They were half 20s. We guessed one thing right today anyhow. Right, let's figure out how we're gonna mount these suckers. I think it was liking being outside now that that warm sun's been out. I don't know how much it'll help, but it wouldn't hurt my feelings to actually go wider on this thing. We could almost cut a piece of strap that went all the way across, because if we just weld a tab off of here, it's going to want to kind of flex and twist it. But if we had something just flat across there, probably be strong enough. Something about 16 inches. Prefer something thick enough where it's strong enough where we ain't got to brace it. But we've got to have a way to mount that up through there. I mean, that C-channel may work. It will have some strength to it from having that little lip. I'm not a huge fan of how C-channel looks. Let's take a closer gander here. That'll probably work. Simple enough. As long as that can go up in there. Then I'm gonna radius our end, but also this little thing has crosshairs on it, so I actually marked those where then I can connect the crosshairs, and we'll know where to drill as well to mount our caster. Kind of 2 birds 1 stone type deal. This will be accurate, but it's not like I'm just gonna be out here scribing this, worrying about it being super duper accurate. Voila, marked out. We're just gonna take these to the bench grinder right here. Go with the little pilot hole first. Then we'll take her out to the halfer. Quick little clean up and deburr. Of course, we can clean up as much as you want, whatever. Those ends just being radius make it look a lot better, guys. I like to radius the ends instead of like cut off straight if I can, and like Mortsky boxing a C-notch. Did y'all see his boxing plate on that old whistling piggy or whatever it is he's working on? Shoo! Hoo-hoo. It's like the dude ain't watched the Puddin's Fab Shop bit. He ain't learned nothing. Yeah, that don't look bad. Could look better. Could have brought the hole in a little further maybe. Coulda, woulda, shoulda. That's what I say. Either way, this is an easy way of doing it. Plenty of strength and an easy way to mount, where if we break one of these, it's easy to replace. And I do gain the additional clearance I was looking for. I definitely should have marked this because we should be, I think I counted for 2 inches in on each side. That's our goal. 2 inch in, 2 inch in. Got her kind of centered up here. I'm just gonna take it till it hits those, or bolts underneath there. And I'm just gonna weld this on here so we know we need to do a little grinding right in here. Grinder out. Little rough with the TIG machine. Well, I haven't ate today, and I've had plenty to drink, so that probably ain't helping. Gets me a little jittery. No excuses. I mean, really, I just need more practice, but she's burning. Hey, ho, let's go. Yeah, I like that. I like that. Took a regulator off her bottle, got her unplugged. Next up, we're going for the test set. She don't quite fit. However, I think we can make it work. So that's what that adjustable stopper, obviously, that would just be in the way. At this point, we'd be having to take it back off. There's tabs that are bent up back here we're hitting, but there's just a little bit of gap in between there. So I actually think if we bend these tabs down, then this is probably gonna just fall back. Our handle will hit up there as a stopper, and it should fit just about perfect, it looks like. That's why I didn't want to put that other crap on there yet. Yeah, 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 yeah. Grabbed this piece of scrap earlier, thinking we may use it as a mount. Right now we're gonna use it as a dolly. Hammer these suckers flat. Much better. Yeah. Check that out. That can fall back in there. We can either shove this up to there and now try to bend those up or put something back there, or we can simply let that slide back and touch, guys. Nothing wrong with that right there. That stops it. Up here we have maybe an inch of wiggle. We're not mad about that. It's a pretty good fit. Tighten that up. Those pert near go flush. That only holds the bottle. That ain't too important. Let's plop her down. Kind of look at this. Look like our bottle just holds on the chains. I'm still trying to determine what I do or don't want on here. Here's a reason I don't like the TIG welder, is all the crap you gotta drag around with it. Which is the purpose of this video. To make it where all this drags around easier. Still don't understand the 47 foot of pedal and torch, 6 foot ground. I want to try fitting that bottle on there and seeing how that feels, but I didn't want to do that without some counterweight on here. That's why we had to get this back. One thing I'm noticing, that'll probably work, but that is going to kind of put a kink on that where my outlet is, if we want the bottle tight into there. So if we do shove this forward an inch like that, obviously that makes that not so intense. That's gonna make it want to crack less and everything. So I actually think we ought to put some stoppers back here. These ones were just too far back. That adjustable stopper that came in the front, we're just gonna cut that sucker in half, and then we'll tack it behind each leg of the welder. That'll hold it. Got a 2.5 inch piece. So we'll slap her in half, 1.25 inches. Actually, because that's cut out there and those legs, it'd almost be easier to just cut something that exact length and just drop it across there. That's 12 inch wide. like a piece of like 5/16 or 3/8 round rod where we could just drop it down there and put a little weld on each end would be perfect. That's it. Oh, there we go. Right back here. Yeah. This right here should do it. And then the good thing about this going all the way across is now if that welder wiggles on there or shakes, it ain't gonna fall off. Or like I said, these little brackets right here can actually slide underneath that welder. So if it slid one way or another, it'd still slide back on us, which would be guaranteed to happen eventually. It's getting hot, hot, hot. Nice simple solution right there. And we're gonna save our cord and our hose here. This is the other fun part of not having a cart. Every time I need to move it, I just have it, the bottle chained to this top over here for safety. Don't forget, no heavy lifting or we're gonna be popping butt cuts open. We don't want no loose butt cuts around here. Even 3 hours later, I'm gonna get it there. Here I come, watch out. Yep, good thing we added that stopper. Now to hold this, the chains are just a little drop-in feature, which makes it adjustable, obviously. Drop her in that hole, then you pull it back. Obviously, we want these as tight as possible. Yeah, it feels all right. That wasn't part of my plan, but that's easy enough. That stopper I'd cut in half. Well, we can just turn them and create stoppers where it can't go side to side. Just throw a few little tack welds on there. Ain't gotta be nothing fancy. Now it has no side to side up there. It ain't gonna go front and back, so she pretty well should stay put. Not a super huge fan of these. I'm gonna try putting them on here and seeing what I think about them. Just don't feel like I'm gonna be like, let me move my welding cart. Super grip levers. Feel like I'm running a damn D6 bulldozer. I'm gonna leave them on there for now. What I'm really trying to figure out is where I want to hook stuff on this to make it actually convenient to use. I can tell you I don't like this. I realize that these are supposed to bolt on here and here. Then you see that little slot there, that's for this to drop in. So then that just sits in place, and then some of your hooks go on this. So then as you pick your cables up off this, this can simply slide up out of there if it wants to. Just seems like something that would be aggravating. Now we could put that in there and weld it. Or we can kind of, like I said, just eyeball it. See if there's anything we want to make specific to us. How's this thing fit my foot pedal? That may be the new foot pedal holder, you know what I mean? Almost like it wants to work. Almost. Oh, Wild Man Bill. I ain't seen him in a minute. So guys, I'm just playing with the layout here. We got some options. I noticed the way the length of those pins, I can actually start them where those bolt holes are supposed to go, which I'm not scared to just weld that. The torch being so long, that's what Bill just said. I think you could weld on that stout with that from there. Ground's the least of the worries. It's a nice short thing. We can make it take up on front. The pedal, I'm trying to get it where it wraps up in a way where then I can just set the pedal on the bottom shelf. Now that way you're not dragging that around. So I think that's what we're gonna do. Between the braces it came with, some of the hooks that are kind of pre-made up, I'm just gonna shoot from the hip here on what's gonna work for us. We'll start off with some tacking. I think the higher we can go on this, the better. And then the wider on the clamps, the better. Because I'm trying to create a big old space to take up all that torch length. So everything dropped down here and tight the way they have it, ain't really gonna help us out too much. Not getting too picky, guys, and we're gonna just start with a couple tack welds. try a couple tacks. Since our torch lead comes out on this side, that's the side we're taking our torch to. So we can leave that a little loose on there like that. But that's why I want as big a spread as possible. Boom. I mean, that works pretty dang good right there if you ask me. All right, I probably should have showed this, but I didn't. These just bolted on, guys. These are the ones that did have holes for pegs or whatever. I just bolted them right there. That's our next one we want to take up, all of that freaking foot pedal that's half a mile long. And check that out. Like I said, we can wrap that on there, use that bottom shelf right there just for the foot pedal, and that leaves us with the ground. Now this is the one where I'll probably end up overthinking it, because I don't want to wrap it onto any of that other stuff. The ground's so short, just something right on the front could be simple. I don't know. This is what's annoying about these things. Do we go up top? What do we do with it? I don't know. All right, kind of had to eyeball her. And my first thing I did was grab one of these hooks and set it up there. And I actually don't mind that because the ground is so short. However, here's my thinking. This is obviously a black cable. That's a black cable. So if we actually take it over to this side, it makes it just a little easier to distinct, because that is a damn denim cable, okay? It's got its overalls on. It's ready for work. So actually, I think if we just mounted that like that right there, boom, easy to get to. Bill also had another point. Then once you get set up and you're welding somewhere, that hook up front's easy place to be able to slap your helmet on, which, you know, who knows how much we'll use that, but I don't think we'll get tired of having that there. That may even be a good place to hold your torch in or something like that as you're welding. So I think the goal's gonna be right there. You got a ground on, Bill. Uh-oh. I'm just glad I didn't become the ground. Nothing like trying to weld your knees to the concrete. Did you say you got this same cart, the exact same one? Hard to beat for the price, huh?
Yeah.
Almost exactly what I was talking about at the beginning of the video, guys. Bill came in, was like, man, that's the one I bought. I was gonna build one myself, and I popped in there and seen the price, and it's like just not worth it. And then he said he kind of modified his to work with his some too. So I would say just for even having those hooks, guys, just to be able to do a little grinding or welding, not have to build all that, not really a big deal. But that's kind of tailor fitted exactly to our welder. I think it's gonna work pretty good for us for what it is.
You can't make fun of Taylor.
I'm in trouble.
So when you put it on, you could fasten it to there, and that would stiffen
her up. Yeah. Give that the old skiing test, Bill. Shake on that for me. Y'all see how much flex is in that? I'm gonna grind down in here and then just put some weld down in here and just kind of stiffen this front end up some. The back don't do it as bad. I may grab a weld or two back there, who knows? I might get buck nasty and weld the whole damn thing. I think they're getting a shot of your butt, Bill.
Hey. Good thing I have my pants on.
The way that stuff radius is in, it's kind of hard to get in there to clean it good. So I've got the welder cranked up. Yes, I'm just stacking tacks. That's fine though, guys, for what we're doing. That heat will help burn that. I don't even know if that's powder coat or if it's alleged to be. Anyhow, you can burn through that stuff just quick and hot. Tack, tack, tack. She don't look the best, but she don't look the worst. But it dang sure stiffens it up a lot. All right, guys, she is welded. Put a couple on our hooks too, even though those bolted on with how those weren't feeling promising. Hey, will you hold this, Bill? Be sure to get my good side. Guys, this still has a little wobble to it, but this all down in here ain't flexing near as much. Everything's tied together. I like that better. I told Bill I'd like to spruce her up a little bit, and I think we can do that on the front here. I started to think of doing some stuff on the sides, but we'll probably be using the sides, especially this side, putting our pedal in and out. So the width of this here, we're right at a foot. I don't know exactly where I want to go to. And about 10 inches. I'm gonna measure it. I think we'll build a cool little piece to just slap here on the front to give her a little personality. Do a little digging in the scrap. I got this piece of 18 gauge right here. We're just gonna make what we need to work within this, I think. I decided 12 and an 1/8, and I'd be happy with about 7 inches. A drop in the front. We don't got to full enclose it. Looks like we can get that out of here. So we could do a template, but this ain't that serious, guys. Just a little fun for the welder. So I'm just gonna lay out what we're gonna do on here. It's gonna work or it won't. Well, I didn't do very good.
I should have left.
Should probably stand on the side I can see, huh? That was a little better. I ain't gonna stress it too much, guys. If I needed it to be real accurate, we'd need to knock the rust off, and I'd probably need to get a nice fine tip. We'll roll with it. Drop down our 7 inches. We'll finish cutting out old Rusty here. I'm gonna just kind of slide that up into there. Again, not wanting to overcomplicate or overthink. I do think it'd be better if we added a radius. So I'm gonna mark right there at the inside of that tubing. Now I need to find something that's we can lay over there that gives us a circle shape, about like that bucket.
Bucket, yeah.
Yeah, that's too much. Way too much. We need something bigger.
Bigger. Trash can. Oh, that barrel right there.
Aha!
Oh, an air cleaner.
Set it on the table there and just connect the dots. Now we get to cut that out. That's the fun shape. Instead of cutting that perfect, we're gonna loose cut it. And then we'll just grab the flap attack here and we'll work up to the edge. Should end up with a cleaner finish. We could probably use a better flap attack than that, but let's try our luck. Aha! Check the fit real quick. Yeah, we'll take it. Now we just gotta figure out a little dimple die. Maybe a bead roll pattern instead, who knows? So to a radius, we're 5 inches. We're gonna kind of work inside that radius, I think. So we'll split that in half. We'll drop down 2.5 inches. That'll give us our center line. We'll mark her in half that way for our center point. Now we can kind of work from there. All right, I think I have one. I think I have 1.25 inches. I better go check before I make any assumptions. Can't remember. Boy, I can't mark center neither. Let's see what the old treasure chest has. Yeah, 1.25 inches, and Bill's got the 3/4, so keep that one. We'll take the,
These.
or should we go 1.25 inches, 1 inch? Let's go down to 1 inch. Kind of give us an idea of our layout here. That's kind of roughly the amount it's gonna flare or dimple. It's called a dimple die, not a flare die. So that kind of gives you an idea of your hole size, then the impact of your dimple. Now this meets up, so you don't want to go too far that away. And I actually kind of want to keep this tight. So I'm gonna say we just shoot over. Let's just try 3 inches from center to center, see what that looks like. And this one, we're stepping down to a 1 incher. Is he snoring? Is that noise?
I think so.
They go over there sawing logs or what?
Yeah.
Oh yeah, I hear the deep grunts.
My dog snores all the time. Man, she's bad.
Look at him.
He's chasing something. It's that dog next door.
That's gonna flare out a little more. I think we need to tighten that up. All right, my first one was over there, stepped her over a 1/2 inch this way. Same thing there. We're gonna go with that, 1 inch, 1 inch, 1.25 inches. Get our cutting fluid out for this. And the old 1.25 inches. She's starting to split. I don't know if she's got another one left in her. We're gonna try her luck. All or nothing. She's going. Oh yeah, she went right through. Use the old roll lock in the carbide. Quick little deep burr. Now, I'm entertaining trying to bead roll this too, which I probably shouldn't do because it's probably gonna mess it up. Not that handy with the bead roller. Let's try it. Let's live a little. We're gonna bead roll it before we dimple dye it. From the outside edges, I think I came in 1.75 inches on each side, drew us a line. From the top, I dropped down about 7/8 of an inch. Now down here, I'm gonna come off the radius and go along there. I'm gonna go up 1.25 inches from the bottom of the radius. So right where that touches, go up 1.25 inches. And that's where we want to try to intercept that with our thing up there again. Oh, there's no chance in hell I'm gonna be able to follow that, Bill.
Too close. Drop it down a little bit.
Well, I'm saying when I get to these corners, I'm gonna have to do something even. That ain't too close. I think we'll clear that way. Oh well. If it looks janky, at least it's on the front of my Harbor Freight welding cart. Maybe if we add a little radius on that, we'll have a fighting chance of making it look decent. I'll just use my dimple die here for the radius. All right, maybe you can see the pattern I'm kind of wanting to try to follow there. We're gonna just go with the step dies, guys. Just trying to step it down a hair. Yeah, I stepped it down just a hair. Well, as I was zooming along there, the camera died. I did pretty good. I don't have her too whooped on as far as the step on there. I might give her another turn and go one more round. Should probably leave it alone when I'm ahead, you know, but let's push the luck.
I was getting ready to say, I know it came out pretty good.
Came out good, better do it again. I gotta show the camera. See, they'll be like, oh, I bet you'd let the camera turn off and then Bill did it for you, didn't he?
No, Bill didn't do it for him. Never played around with one of those at all.
Not bored enough to want to put yourself through this torture?
No. I always thought it was neat, you know what I mean? 'Cause how it comes out when you get done, but
I didn't follow as good this time, guys. I still did all right. Just
you did pretty
that
good.
first one was smooth. That's why I
Yeah.
didn't stop. I was just on a roll, so I just kept rolling. We'll taper out there at the end. Still did pretty good. Step. Yeah, that looks good. It's a little easier to see on the back side. Pretty happy with that. Let's go dimple dyer. We're probably just gonna do that with hammer and force. Now I have a press, guys, and we could use the vise. There's all different kinds of ways to do this. We're gonna use the speedball version. Dunk. And once you hear it kind of thud hard,
that's it.
you know you're there. Hey, for just quick and easy, looks pretty cool. She got a little curve to her right now, but kind of just put that on the chest and flatten her out. Might put a knee in it. I push hard, pellet shoots out the back. Patoom! Little rubbing alcohol, a little wiping. I actually like how much of the rust that's taken off there and how much it's leaving.
On there.
Yeah, I'm okay with a little rust stain on this. It's really weird. That marker came off of everywhere except this radius edge. It ain't scrubbing off there. Oh well, if it wants to stay that bad, I'll let it hang out. It can stay. Let's go fit her up. About the right amount of rust, ain't it, Bill?
Yep.
It's like the damn chest plate of some armor or something. Yeah, that looks pretty cool right there. Just enough to give her some character. I'm gonna put the ground on so Bill don't become the ground this time. guess what? Ow, ow, ow.
Get you a squirt.
No, got me a lump of pellets in the rear.
Shot out. There it is on the floor.
Oh shit, there's one. Things like that just start, patoo, patoo.
Here, I'll put it in for you. Ready?
Reinsert. Besides that, looking all right. I don't look bad. Yeah, just enough to spruce her up. You can tell that welder don't belong in a damn, hell, I don't know. Some guy who does damn eagle sculptures ain't using it. It has a little bit of a hot rod influence to it now. She looks like she belongs. If I still had the shake or a smooth enough hand for pinstripe, we may throw a little something on there, but I don't have that kind of crap anymore. All my pinstripe stuff's gone. It looks good, guys, but besides looking good, she's stiff now because we just locked that to that to that to that. She don't shake like she did, does she?
No. Good.
Got just enough personality so she looks like she belongs in Puddin's Fab Shop. That's what I like. All right, Bill, let's get her staged for a thumbnail. More or less, we're doing some roll testing here. Of course, this one's loaded down pretty good, but she ain't the star of that hour. That's this one here. Still not a fan of those, but it does make it easy to kind of push. With that all pretty stable, yeah. Kind of nimble enough too. You don't want to go too wide, I'd say. That's probably about right, guys. I don't know. I was not excited about this thing at first, and I knew we could make it a little better, but I'm actually pretty happy with that now. And now we just got to decide where it gets to sit all the time. It's almost about time to do some rearranging in this shop, guys. Just kind of thinking out loud. I've been thinking I may want to, eventually I'd still like to get a drill press. I've thought about getting one of those little arc droid things. I don't know if y'all seen them. Grindhard Plumbing uses them. They're the little robot arm that cuts, won't take up near the footprint of a plasma table. And I've just kind of been thinking of a few pieces of equipment we could add. And it would almost benefit us to take these cabinets down off of here and just be able to continue our fabrication equipment right here. That stuff could pert near go down on the other side of the fridge.
You just move that down there.
I store stuff in there. We've got our battery storage in there, but it don't get used awful lot. It's real bad about becoming a catch-all. And actually, because I'm not over there near as much, it wouldn't become a catch-all near as much.
Right.
Then all the equipment over here could just become the catch-all. That'll work. I don't know. We're not acting on any of that. I've just kind of been thinking if I want to add any more. We're kind of out of room right in here. Got to figure out where we want to park that. But there you go, guys. Pretty happy with it. Pretty happy with our little piece. I guess I probably didn't show you with it. Just a few stitch welds on there. Didn't worry about it too much. Let them rest. A little surface rust. She'll look all right on there. We could paint everything black if you wanted to, but not me. I think that's good enough. G-U-D, good enough. My butt's hurting, and we're going to call that a wrap. Like I said today, the butt's hurting. Wasn't even supposed to be working, but I'm just glad we got that done. Definitely going to be easier to use the TIG more now. It never fails. When I need it over here, it's over there. When I need it over there, it's over here. And that back and forth crap. She's going to be good to go now. One final test, and we'll call her a day. She'll go back. Got to check her forward, Bill. Yeah, guys. She'll make a welding cart yet. Yeah. All right. You can cut a rug with it. That's good enough for me for sure. I appreciate you guys watching. I'd say, depending on your deal, I can't remember what I paid for that sucker, but I remember I was like, that's good enough, and then I noticed it was marked on sale too. So I want to say it was even like 20 bucks cheaper than what it was supposed to be. And versus gathering all the stuff, I think it's worth kind of modifying that. It does have enough powder coat and stuff left on it that it looks kind of nice versus being a bunch of mill scale metal or, having to try to clean all that up and paint, blah, blah, blah. Bill recommended. Bill came in and basically validated my thoughts on it as well. So I would say, yeah, if you get one, especially on sale, go for it. Modify it to your welder to fit a little better, and you'll probably like it a little more like I do. I appreciate y'all being here, especially on the second channel. Always seeing the little shenanigans behind the scenes, being here to support everything we're doing. Thank y'all just for the views. Be sure to share. Tell your mama, your sister, your cousin, and your uncle, even if those are all the same person. Let them know they can come here and check some good content out with us. I'm on the Instagrammer, I'm on the Patreon, I'm on the Facebooker. We're gonna have merch up soon. I've kind of been taking it easy this month, didn't stress it too much. And we'll be releasing some new stuff for y'all soon, so we appreciate all the support there as well. And much other than that, do not forget, sitting on your ass will not finish a project. It will let your ass finish healing up though, where you can actually do a project. Hot damn, there's so much BSery, we had to start a whole channel for all the extras. Be sure to go check out Puddin's Fab Shop if you ain't seen that baby yet. Come on!